RSA 99.1 FM presents Nick Butcher with Fiestas and Foods of Spain.
Given the significance of what Christmas celebrates, the birth of God made man, it's strange to reflect that one of the few certainties about Christmas and all its accumulated traditions is that nobody really has any idea when Jesus was born. Christ's birthday at the 25th of December was arrived at only after 200 or 300 years of debate, by which time memories of the event can hardly have been fresh. Nor was it a date that was accepted by all branches of the church. However, it did fit neatly into the calendar, the days around the winter solstice having long been a time associated with pagan festivities, especially that of the Roman feast of the sun, Natalis Invicti, the birth of the Invincible One, whose light shone ever longer and stronger from this time of the year on. Modern traditions, of course, vary from country to country. Here in Spain, Papa Noel, or Father Christmas, is a comparatively recent arrival, mainly thanks to television and Hollywood. Santa will generally bring Spanish children something, but the bulk of their presents always come with the Reyes Magos, the three wise men or kings. Melchor, Gaspar, and Baltasar arrive from the east on the evening of the 5th of January, process down the streets in their chariots, and when the children are safely tucked up in bed, will pass from house to house, piling presents into the shoes that have been left out in excited expectation. Another striking difference in the Spanish Christmas is that the huge family dinner is celebrated on the night of Christmas Eve rather than on Christmas Day. People spare no expense on the food and make a point of decorating the table with their finest cutlery, glassware, and linen. After daunting quantities of food and drink, carols are sung round the family crib, called in Spanish the Belén, or Nacimiento, or Pesebre. These nativity scenes go back to the 13th century and Francis of Assisi, who used a real ox and ass in the one he made in a cave. The idea caught on and spread to Spain in the 18th century. Elaborate versions can be seen in shops, churches, town halls, and cathedrals. After dinner, a stroll is required, and many will head for the church to attend midnight mass, called here La Misa del Gallo, the Mass of the Cockerel. One explanation for the name is that a cockerel was the first in the stable to witness the birth of Christ, and announced it to the world with his crow. After the Mass, there will be much greeting of friends, children will set off bangers, and you may come across a pastoral, a group of people dressed as shepherds and shepherdesses. They roam the streets singing carols to the inimitable accompaniment of the zambomba, producing quite the strangest sound you will hear anywhere at Christmas. Some families will have more reason than usual to celebrate, following the huge lottery draw on the 22nd. That morning, all you hear coming from radios and televisions is the sound of the numbers being called as they are drawn from the great churning balls called bombos. The voices calling the numbers belong to boys and girls from the Colegio de San Ildefonso. It's a great honour for them. They practice hard, and their delight is plain when they announce one of the big prizes, especially El Gordo, the fat one, worth a cool 2 million euros. On the 28th of December, Spain remembers the slaughter of the innocents by celebrating a sort of day-long April Fool's Day, El Día de los Inocentes, when all sorts of inocentadas or practical jokes are played, not least by the press. Which brings us to the year's end, and La Noche Vieja, when, after a large dinner, and as the clock strikes 12, you try to swallow 12 lucky grapes, one for each chime. There follows the cotillon, the party involving lots of music and dancing, which will last until daybreak. The streets are strangely quiet the next day. This is Nick Butcher. Next time, San Sebastián and San Antonio de Abad.
The Fiestas and Foods of Spain, an ongoing series on Spanish culture by Nick Butcher, author of The Festive Food of Spain, available in bookstores along the Costa del Sol, including Smith's Book and Card Store in Nerja. For more information, visit our website rsafm.org.